Hey everybody, this is Blue One again with my sixth or seventh. This is my seventh tutorial. This one is working only with the listener class. I did get a request for the inventory click event so that you could set that to canceled. I will be doing that in the next one because this one happens to be a precursor to that. So if you're going to have a listener, you can have it in the same class as another one, but it's best to simply have it in its own class just to keep everything nice and tidy. We're going to call this let's see. We'll just call it click listener since that's what we're going to end up doing with it anyway. Just like that. Click listener. Once that opens, we're going to have it implements listener. You'll have to import that. Once you've got it imported, there are 1,000 things you can do with this. You're going to have to create a um, public void and then name your method. We'll call this onClick just because that makes sense. And then we'll have inventory click event. This is going to be a short tutorial just because there's really not a whole lot that goes into making a click listener class or any kind of listening class. Um, you can see here inventory click event is all one word. These events are things that you have to have memorized, otherwise, because there's really no way to get them. Um, and then you have to name it a variable right here. A lot of people do E, some people do event. I like E just because it takes up less space and it's easier to type, and I happen to be lazy. So then we're going to have to import that as well. As soon as that's imported, you can have anything happen when an inventory is clicked on. You will have to probably specify an inventory and then specify what they click on if you actually want to get anything reasonable out of it. But there's one more thing you have to do before you can use this class. You'll have to go to the main, and then right over here, you'll create a new plugin manager. And we'll just name this one PM equals bucket.get plugin manager, just like that. Now you don't need to set this to its own variable if you only have one listener class. Um, this is if you have several listeners, then you can do just like this right here, pm dot register events. There we go. And we'll do new click listener. We'll have that there. And then we'll go over here and type this. This references this class right here, and the new click listener is referencing this click listener class that we've got set up right here. So you will have to have that typed out. If you only have just the one listener and you don't plan on having another, then you could instead type bucket.get plugin manager, where's that? Right there, dot register events, and then put the listener class right there. So if you just have one, that is an easier and tidier way to do it. But if you're going to have several, which we might end up, seeing as this is just a tutorial plugin, we can do all kinds of stuff in here that's not really useful, just for learning off of. We will have it set to a variable. That way we can just do pm.register events and then do it again and again. So that's all there is to making a listener class. It's very simple thing that you can do here. There's all kinds of events. You can have a player toggle flight event, just like that. And you would have to import that. There is also player chat event, which is how you can handle mutes. Um, player quit event. That's when somebody leaves the game. So you can, if somebody leaves the game while they're tagged, you can take away points from them. You can do player join event. There's also a player login event, which happens before the join event. Um, and there is a couple other things like a pre-join event and such like a whole bunch of different events. If you want to find the events, you can go to the API docs, which are what we have right here. If you go to your build path, we set this up when we first started. You go to configure build path, you go to Java doc location. You take this, you put it into your browser, and you will find any information that you could possibly need on Bucket or Spigot. So we're just going to keep this inventory click event. And we're not going to have to do anything with the tutorial server today because we haven't really set up anything with this. I've only showed you how to set something up. So the next tutorial we will be showing you how to use this particular event, this inventory click event, and some of the amazing things that you can do with that. So for now, that's all. If you liked this, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, well, comment and tell me what I can do to improve it. If you have friends who are needing help with plugins, I would be glad to help. Just hit me up in the comments. If you do comment, I'm glad to see those. Um, so you guys just have a nice day, and I'll bring up the next tutorial here shortly.